Okay, hello and welcome to Pyinstaller Paths. I'm just doing this video because this is something that really stumped me, uh, and I hope it will not stump you. So first, we'll go over the Kivy code. So again, this generic import. Okay, now this is import OS as OS. So the explanation here is this special syntax. Now the special syntax just says defines values for the whole KV context, access Python modules, use import. So I use this style right here, import this is equivalent to import numpy as np. But I don't want to think about it, so I always do import OS as OS, import sys as sys. I don't want to think about the ordering, I just say OS is OS, sys is sys. So that's it. And then new box is just a box layout with two methods. And then here you will see that there's some labels, right? So let's just run this now. That way you can see while I'm explaining the code. So here it is. Here's the label. You're running from terminal. So first label says OS. So the current working directory. This is the working directory. Next is executable. Executable is this. This is your Python on Windows from your terminal. Keep that in mind. The next is your path. All these paths. Okay. Next is maypass test. So maypass test just checks for the variable sys __ maypass. That is set when you run something after you package it with Pyinstaller. So there's that. So it says no maypass found. You're running from IDE. Okay, cool. And then this one is root find files. So this is what the strategy I'm using to find files from terminal, from Python, or from Pyinstaller, maybe Pyinstaller, in Windows and on Mac. So I'll get to that. It took me a while to think about to make. Anyways, that's the whole point of this video. Find a file, and then basic app. Again, basic app. And then here I set the title. So if you are running from, if you have sys maypass _maypass. If you have sys __ maypass, it will say running from Pyinstaller. And if not, then you're running from terminal. Then just do like that, run and then close. So here it's running from terminal. I will go here. We'll run it. Okay, it's running. Oh, this is old. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna build this. Okay, python -m pyinstaller main one file spec. Oh, I forgot clean. Okay. I'll come back. This will take like 7 minutes build. See if it works. Okay, it works. Now it says running from Pyinstaller, correct? Now let's Python. Oh, okay. Actually, this is it. Okay, so this one says it's running from Pyinstaller. This one is saying it's running from terminal. Let's compare the two. Let's get current working directory. It's this dist folder, right? That's this guy. Now, what is the current working directory here? This is Pyinstaller paths. Who is this guy? This guy is here. So their current working directory on a terminal is what your terminal is on, and then Pyinstaller is the folder that you're in on Windows. So this is just on Windows. You'll see on Mac. Now, what's this executable? Executable on Pyinstaller is your app.exe. It's this guy. Whatever your exe is. What's this executable on terminal? It's Python exe. This is actually your virtual. Well, for me, anyways, this is my virtual environment Python. Python then scripts python.exe. So this is my executable. So very different. Another one is the path. You see, this path is my actual Python path plus my current working directory. What's path here? It's this temp folder. So a lot of people don't know this. I didn't know this either. No one tells you. Let's go to temp %. It's this temp folder, and this one is 88802 right here. So this one, what happens is, these are old folders. If you don't exit cleanly, Pyinstaller will not delete them. So actually, these are old builds that didn't end correctly. This should actually be deleted. So I'm just gonna delete them. So this is it. And then, right, this is the path. Looking for this download, right? So what's mapass? Mapass is the actual folder that this guy unzips to. So this guy unzips to this. And this is telling you that this is the mapass folder. So if you want to just do the easy way, you just add this to your path. And then Windows path, find this, find it. So it found the actual files. Okay. So huge differences, stuff you have to really keep in mind. You really should just go for it on a case-by-case basis. Let's see. So in the code, I show this. Okay, now I show, okay. Another issue is that, like, if you run in a different folder, so for example, I have copied right here, you go to main.py, in level 1, I've also copied main.py, right? So we go cd level 1, python main.py. Now look at the current working directory. It should be, where are you? Python main.py. Okay, hard to see. You see it's level 1, right? And what will this tell you? Python examples and start path level 1. So that is your path. Why? Because that's your current working directory. Why? Because it's the current working directory of your terminal. So you have to make sure you really know what your current working directory is. If your terminal is in a different spot, this is going to be in a different spot. So just something to keep in mind. Another one is in level 1 folder. I did this. That's done. Executable might be Python exe. Correct. We've shown that. Pyinstaller. Okay, so let's move Pyinstaller to a different directory. So go here. Oh, this is the old one. I remember this. This is 830, 831. Old. This. So we're gonna run the Pyinstaller app. Now here we're going to see that the current working directory is going to be this level 1. Executable is the same, path the same, mapath is different. Why? Because every time you run it, you actually get a different temp folder at the end of every Pyinstaller run. Deletes temp folder, and you run a new one, you will make a new mapath. So that's why the old mapath folders were ones where Pyinstaller crashed and it did not delete temp folder properly. So make sure you just check if there's like random mapath folders. And then it finds this. Okay, good. Okay, so now the next step is to show Pyinstaller spec file failing on different current working directories. So first I'm supposed to show that it's failing on level 1. So we're gonna go cd level 1 and Pyinstaller or python -m pyinstaller main one file one.spec clean. Now it's going to fail. Why? Because I'm looking for this media file and I sent to media file in Pyinstaller in the mapath folder. So it says it fails. Unable to find blah 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 media when adding binary and data files. Why? Because in your main current working directory, which is here, this is the one file, and then media is here. And all media finds is like this, find this folder. Now you can see this. I'm still holding this guy open. So let's look in the temp folder. The temp folder, you see media, you see these guys. So it did find the media file, or the media folder. Found media folder and then packaged it, and then it spit it out in the temp folder when it's running in Pyinstaller. So that's something you have to keep in mind. Okay, no, that's something you have to keep in mind when you're doing all these paths. There's so many paths when you're running from terminal, when you're running from Pyinstaller. Nobody really tells you anything. So I hope I'm gonna tell you the thing. So hopefully you'll learn something else. What else? So I showed it failed because it was looking for media, correct? Show on Pyinstaller. Oh yeah, so this is why I kind of had a cut because I got confused. If you go up here, I was trying to do python -m Pyinstaller what's it called? I was trying to do level 1 to target this guy, and I was going to say, okay, because my current working directory is in the main folder, it will find media. It actually does not. Let me just level 1 main 1 file 1.spec. Okay, it will actually complain, unable to find level 1 media when adding binary files. Why? Because there is I was trying to check, okay, what's current working directory? Current working directory is still Pyinstaller paths. So I was thinking Pyinstaller paths will find media file. Actually, it says right here, it extends Python path with paths. So actually, this spec file is your main file, and it does look for media file in that spec file. So it doesn't matter what your current working directory is when running the spec file. Your spec file is like the current working directory when you build it. And so wherever you put the spec file is where you're supposed to look for all your stuff. So that's like one big deal, unless you do full paths. If you do full paths, all this relative stuff, you'll always know where it is. Like if it was like C, the right media, it will find it. But this, you have to keep it like this because this is relative to the Maypass folder. Let's see. That's correct. On Windows, current working directory is your exe. Yes. So here it will say again, what's my current working directory? It's where my exe is running. So this one is exe is currently here. This is my current working directory. That's correct. You run the other one. Dist. Run the other one. It will be this dist folder. So the dist folder is this folder. So that's current working directory on Windows. What else? On Mac, it's the user folder. I will show Mac later. And then how Maypass reflects the spec file. So there's some instructions. So in the instructions, just go here, all the way down here. So if you use external resources like KV files and images, you have to add their location to the spec file so that they can be packaged along with the exe. So this is just the Pyinstaller docs where I got the information, right? Basically, to do this, insert your file. You insert your file or folder location into the datas line. This needs to be in the form of location on your PC, location in the package app. So here, it's the media folder. To the media folder on the temp directory. So let's just check. This is one file spec. So here, this is your current working directory. You won't find it. If you go here, one file here. What's the current working directory? This folder, and then it will find the media folder. And then if you go to the temp directory, you find media folder here. So that's why this is super duper important. And then how are you going to find these files in Pyinstaller, right? So trick one was just, okay, you add sysmaypass to your paths. So then they look for it. Okay, so where should I look? How should I look? You have two options. Number one is you add Maypass to paths. So this is the stack. Exchange, it should be this. Yeah, this is stack exchange. It says bundling data files with Pyinstaller in one file. So it says newer versions of Pyinstaller do not set the end variable. Okay, so now the path gets set as sys_maypass, get resource path, absolute path to resource, base path, and then you go look in the Maypass folder, and then you just combine your Maypass folder with the relative path, and this is how you find your stuff. So that's cool. If I'll just read it. This is okay if you don't need persistent data, but since temp folder gets deleted, you can't save the sysmaypass. And any ways to just save data in the folder where the exe is in. Now this is why. Where are you? Current working directory is super important because sometimes you just want to save, like, let's say, is this the correct one? Like data folder, like save a data folder and like keep this persistent among, reruns, right? Because this is why I'm keeping this guy open, by the way. Once I close this Maypass folder will disappear, will get deleted. That's why I'm keeping him open. That's why if you want something persistent, you have to have a location. So the basic one is just where your exe is located. There are other places like, actual temp folder right here. There's like app data, all kinds of stuff. Just pick one. But for me, the most obvious one is just the folder that holds your exe. So the folder that holds your exe is this guy. Let's go up. Is this guy. This is the folder. So that's what I pick. Just keep that in mind. May pass. Once I close this, the temp folder will disappear. That's why I'm holding this guy open. So the second way to look for items is to search everywhere, which is where we'll go to find file. Now, the strategy is, all the spots to look for. Syspath, executable, get current working directory, and the temp may pass folder using arglog. So what does this do? It says your solution is empty. If you have an attribute, you add the may pass folder. Why? Because if you do this, and then there's like no may pass folder, it will complain sys has no attribute may pass. So you check. If you have may pass, you add it. So you search through this. So now the possible paths are here. So it's your sys path, your current working directory, and the temp folder. Now, for every path in those list of paths, let's look for some temp solutions. So if this is wrapping around, okay. So pathlib.path, your temp path using rglob path.join this. So what does this do? I search very specifically for find this.py in all the paths, and I will show you what this looks like. So it's sys.path, which is all of these guys, plus current working directory, which is this guy, and may pass, which is this guy. So let's go through it. So what's the first path in syspath? This one. So in this folder, it will look for recursively glob, look for find this.py. Is it there? I don't think so. You go here. Is it in libdynload? I don't think so. Is it in the temp folder? I think so. And then it says it's right here, right? I think it's there because why? If you go to the temp folder, where rglob looking for find this.py, it's here. So I found it. Okay, next. We're going to win32. Is it in win32? Doesn't look like it should be. Nope. Okay, Pywin32 is in Pywin32. Nope. Okay, it's in Kivy install modules. I don't think so. Is it in .kivy mods? Where is this? Wait, I'm making you. Kivy vbox user. .kivy. No, it's not there. Okay. So after that, who's next? Okay, so because I'm in Pyinstaller, I'm doing this. Current working directory. So I'm in level 1. Let's go to level 1. Where is that? The C user, Cbox user, desktop, example, Pyinstaller paths, level 1. Okay, where are you? Find this.py. Is it here? No. Is it here? No. Here. It shouldn't be here. It's not here. Okay. I didn't find it. What's the next one? Current working directory, sysmaypath. Okay. And again, because we did look at maypath here, because it's in paths, we'll find it again. So let's just look at it again. Maypath in media, found it. So that's why we found the same file twice. We found it here, and then we also found it. Where's maypath? Found it here. So here and here. Why? Because they're literally the same folder. But anyways, you found the guy. It's great. So what this approach implies is that the name of this folder should just be, or file, the name of this file should just be unique. If not, you have to find a way to differentiate them. But this always finds this file almost everywhere on any OS. And then you can find dupes just because, like, actually, this is not a dupe. This is literally the same. I'm only finding dupes because I'm running stuff like here and I'm making copies. But you shouldn't find dupes. You'll just find like the same file, the same named file in all those sources. So let's say Like there's main here and then there's main here. Okay, that's gonna be a pain. But you found something and you can deal with it. That's the one thing that's good about this approach. Anyways, let's finish this. So for path string and possible paths, we found the temp solution. And then if you're non-zero, we found a solution in path string. Oh, that should be here actually. Yeah, so found this solution in here, found this solution in here. So I found this folder, or this file, in the same folder. Okay, that's cool. Let's see, search everywhere. Okay, so that is for Pyinstaller. Now let's run in, where are you? Let's run here in main.py. So Python main.py. So what is this guy going to say? We're running from terminal. Again, we found it in Pyinstaller paths media. Find this. Why? Because current working directory is in your syspath. Where are you? Pyinstaller path. Pyinstaller path. So we found it. We found the same file multiple times. This is a dupe on Windows. Why? Because on Mac, the current working directory is going to be different. And I will show you that soon. One more location, which I forgot to mention, is double underscore file double underscore. What this is that it shows the actual file that's running the app. So for here, because I'm running from Pyinstaller, it will show the main file in the temp folder. And another thing is that you don't want to have the file. Actually, you want to have the directory name. So dir os.path.dir name on your double underscore file will get you the directory name. And just to show on main.py, this one, which will show up in a moment, this one will say that you're running from the actual main.py that I'm running on terminal with VS Code. And let's just compare it. So running from terminal, running from Pyinstaller. You can see here it's C user, cbox user, Kivy examples, Pyinstaller paths, main.py. Versus from Pyinstaller, you're running C users, vbox user, all the way to temp folder. The temp folder here, which is the sys._mapath, and then main.py. So this is really nice to know if you know your folder structure. So this is the Mac section of the video. Now there's a huge update between when I last wrote it on Windows and for Mac. So go over Kivy code. There's one huge, not really huge section, but I modified find file on Mac. So if you want to check if you're Windows or Mac, you do sys.platform, and then this is Mac. If you want to do Windows, I think it's like Win32. But anyways, this is for Mac. So what happens is that there's a huge difference in current working directory if you're running from like Unix executable versus you're running on a .app file. So where are you? So for here, you can see that on Mac, you have to add this app equals bundle line. Let's check this out. Here is, I think it's like this. Okay, Safari. This says spec file options for Mac OS bundle when you build a Windows Mac OS app, blah blah blah. Okay, so this is basically what you need to do to make an actual like app looking app on Mac. So I've already pre-built it. Let's just check it out. And then I'll show you first and then I'll explain later. So let's see it. So this one is running from this Unix executable file. You can see its current working directory is your actual user file. It's not the current working directory here, which is like it is on Windows. Is the other one going to run? And then executable, again, it's what you'd expect. It's this folder that contains Pyinstaller app. And the path, generic path, because it's built with Pyinstaller. Okay. because it's built with Pyinstaller, you do have the Maypass folder. Then the search file, the search strategy did work. And then this is double underscore file, which I was explaining earlier. It's main.py in your temp file. Then you use dir name to this to get either like the dir directory of main.py or whatever directory you want. Now here's the thing. Where are you? You see, this is an actual .app like file, and the current working directory is actually root directory, which is not your user directory. And then let me run it from VS Code Python, which is not your terminal directory. So actually there's 3 locations that you should be aware of. So why does this need its own change? Because you're not supposed to have access to the root directory. You're going to have a problem where it's going to ask for permission. So actually I will rebuild it and I'll show you. Let's rename this to working. Let's go to VS Code. And here because before you would say, okay, look through current working directory, look through syspath, look through Maypass, right? But here I just say, okay, look with Maypass. Let's say now I'll do plus always.get current working directory. I'll build this and then it will complain. So python-m Pyinstaller one file mac expect clean. So I'll build it and then we'll continue talking. So that's the difference. Number one is that you cannot look through current working directory on Mac on a spec file specifically with the bundle that looks like this, because when you give like files to people, you don't want to give them like a Unix executable file. This looks kind of sketchy. What's going on, right? So we want to give them a .app file. Then I'll just close this. Okay, let's just close this. Let's go back. And then the other change was again, this randomly named method is just the double underscore file explanation. So get current working directory is different. Okay, so show get current working directory changes on your terminal. So again, let's Control C to Python main.py. So here it's Pyinstaller paths. Why? Because that is I can scroll up correctly. That is the current working directory of my terminal, right? And then cd level 1 on main.py. And here it will be the current working directory of what I had before. It's level 1. It's not Pyinstaller paths, it's level 1. Why? Because I ran it from level 1 in my terminal. So we know this from Windows. Run this. And then again, executable is Python exe from terminal, or your exe if made in Pyinstaller. So this is my executable for my virtual environment. So we know this. Check this. And again, sys executable is the Pyinstaller app. So that is this guy, right? Which I'd renamed earlier. Where are you? Okay, it's already done building. That's the one good thing about Mac. Builds these it builds with Pyinstaller really fast. So I made one big error. I did a comma instead of a plus sign, which meant that I was concatenating the 2 paths instead of putting them separately as a sequence in the list. So in any case, this is the new code and this is the old code. And this old code is the one that bugs out correctly, because in the new code it just doesn't even want to run. So here's the one that works. Okay, here you can see current working directory is the root folder, and then here you're going to see 2 options. So the old, well, not option, but 2 errors. So here's the old error that will give you a problem. Okay, here it says Pyinstaller app that I would like to access files on a network volume. And then one of the network volumes is these guys. And even if you say okay, will just not run. So that is one issue. You should not look through current working directory if you're running from Pyinstaller on a .app file. Okay, and then what's next? Now here we're going to move the Pyinstaller app to a different directory. So again, let's get the working app, copy it, go to level 1, paste it. Copy. I know what happened. Oh, okay. Okay, let's. On here. Paste item. Run it. Okay, here it's running, and then you see on Pyinstaller in this .app file again, the current working directory is this root directory. But if you use this guy, which is the executable, let's see what it says. So here it says your current working directory is your user folder, which is not this, which is not, the guy, you're not running it from your terminal. So there's 3 locations you should think about. Root directory, which is not okay. User folder, which is not okay. And then your terminal current working directory. That's not okay either. Now let's see. Show spec file failing on different current working directory. Okay. So again, python-m Pyinstaller. Where are you? Main one file mac.spec clean. So here it will build, right? This will build, and then here we go to cd level 1 python-m where are you? Main one file mac.spec clean. Okay, and then just ask for the media file again. And then it will complain. It will go like this. It says, oh, you know what? Not correct. It go like this. Then it will complain. It says you can't find it when adding binary or data files. Because why? There's no media file in here. You'd have to give like a full path here, then the relative path here. Then very quickly, just because I remembered, you can actually look in these .app files. You can go like control right click, show package contents. Actually, this is super nice if you want to know if you've actually packaged it correctly. So here you can see Pyinstaller app, and then you can run it from here. So this .app file actually does have stuff inside it. It's not like some unknown binary. You can look inside it. Okay, current working, that's correct. On Windows, current working directory correct. This is the user folder. Ooh, that's not correct anymore. As a Unix executable, and the root folder when run as a app file. Okay, I've explained this. File, okay. I've explained this. So where should you look? So now I've already explained the strategy of using arglob on all the correct paths and all the safe paths. This should be fine. search everywhere. Okay, that's correct. You know what? Oh yeah, there's another location actually. There's also, where are you? os.path.dear name. This one's also a good spot to look at. Yeah, so this is bad. I've shown this. Okay, that's correct. Correct. Okay. All right. So let's just do one last recap. So Python main.py. So here's terminal. Then here's as a Unix executable. Oh, you know what? This is getting too confusing. Let's put them all. Okay, so let's run this. Okay, so this one is on the left. Unix executable is on the left. So this one is the .app file. It's on the right. Okay, and then terminal is in the middle. So in the terminal, this is our current working directory. It's the actual current working directory of your terminal. Executable is the Python on your virtual environment. As we know this, no makepath found. It found the file. And this is the actual file that's running this code. And then this is the directory of this. Now here in Pyinstaller, as a Unix executable file, current working directory is your user folder. Then the executable, again, it's Pyinstaller app. We know this. This is the temp folder that is, how do I say it? Unzipped to. I think we can actually go there. Find a new Finder window. Okay, Control Shift G, var. Where else is it? Var folders 5M. Okay, keep going. Okay, we're going to P. Okay, so because I'm running two of them, there's two temp folders. I want to find BX. Okay, so this is the temp folder. And you see here's the media file that got packaged with Pyinstaller. So there's this. Then it found the file that's running it, found this, found this .py, and then this is the dir name. Again, similarly, on Pyinstaller, as a .app file, current working directory is root folder. Not good. This will actually error out your code. If you try to search for it, it will say like looking for permissions for a network directory, and then even if you say yes, the app already doesn't work. This is the, okay, let's say the executable. It's this Pyinstaller app working.app contents. So you gotta go like control click, show package contents, Mac OS. So this is the actual guy running it. This is the actual executable. This actually super matters. Why? Because if you want to get the directory name, look at this. Directory name is going to be dist from your executable, but if you wanted to get the directory name of a .app, it's going to be Mac OS. In this contents folder, you're going to get confused. Again, syspath, okay. Then the underscore makepath, it's similar. It's going to be another temp folder here, which is WPL. And then it actually found the media file that was bundled. That's correct. And then this is the file that's running it in the .py, and then this is the directory of that holds main.py. Okay, so TLDR. There are two ways to run a Python file from terminal IDE as an exe from Pyinstaller. Oh, that's not correct anymore. Number 3, on Mac, you are given two options. Given two options. There's a Unix executable or a .app file. Right, you must be wary that, okay, that's true. Pyinstaller changes between Windows and Mac. Changes. Just say changes. Okay, on Windows it is your exe folder, on Mac is your user folder or root folder as a .app. Okay, 5 locations to look at. This path, working directory, executable, mapath, and file. Want a decent solution? Just look through all 5 paths using arglob. Want a fast solution? Add sys.mapath to syspath. But be careful, mapath folder is a temp folder. It will not persist. It will not persist between runs. So let's actually close this, and then we'll see who is. This is WPL. WPL will disappear. So close this. Gone. So you can't save anything to the temp folder. Which, I mean, that makes sense, but just to reiterate. And again, gone. Alright, so I hope this helps you with Pyinstaller and all these paths, what's going on. If you're ever doing cross-platform, most likely I'm going to end up doing this for Android and iOS in a couple months. Good luck and peace.